magic challenge. I don't have a selfie stick, so I wouldn't try to do this. I'm going to have to do this a little bit more. Oh, I'm going to have to get a selfie stick. Amazon.com, yo. So for my Magical 30 work, as you heard the research part of this, it's going to be all about Lucifer work. Yep, that Lucifer, the big L. Yesterday I did the first working. This is part of a kind of closing of the loop. In case you're wondering, I finished my MBA. And I'm starting to kind of look at what else I should be doing. This Lucifer work is actually paying back a sorceress friend. Dot, I owed some debt, so I'm going to be doing the Lucifer work for a good week for the summoning challenge. Obviously it's a 30-day challenge, and then I'll reassess. So summoning is basically evocation. We'll cover that. And I did a very, very difficult and interesting, intense Lucifer work. So I was just out there summoning Lucifer, and I had a lot of insights as to the work I was doing for the sorceress, which was the success stuff, bringing greater and greater success. I won't name names or things like that, but it was interesting because I got to the point that I could see all the and hear all this noise, like in the meditation. I'm going to town on it, and I could hear noise. Felt like static, black static. It wasn't Lucifer. And in the course of the working, it became very interesting. So this was like, I had some mirrors. I'll attach a picture to this in the video when I edit it. But I had some mirrors set up to amplify the light of Lucifer. Kind of, what do you call, for the person. So they could see this golden path of success versus all the noise that kind of prevents us from following that. Illumination work, in a way. I hate that I'm doing Lucifer work right when everyone else seems to be doing this. I had planned this for a while, and I hate to be like, oh, I'm on the bandwidth of Lucifer work now. That's not the case. I'm still doing my voodoo work, but this particular spirit has gotten me results before, and it seemed to be the right one for this. And I really went to town on it, and like I said, I kind of, it's a thing right now, and it's going to be like when I post this, like I'm part of the thing, but I'd really planned this before that, and I hate that feeling of just being part of the crowd with some of the entities I work with. I felt the same way when Sorath became big. Like, I work with this demon for my own personal reasons, and it became a big thing. So what are you going to do, right? Lucifer being a big thing too. Usually I don't talk about this kind of work, but I feel like this notion of the demonic is just adversarial, and the spirit is just adversarial in a good way, like getting you to see the noise, and then it's kind of both light and air. And if we go on a Brotherhood of Saturni, it's a weirdly also Saturn gatekeeper of the prisons of the world, which again, that makes sense for air and light, that you'd see some of the physicality of the world as it's a limitation. And you know, when you start thinking about the noise, everyone has a fucking opinion about whatever you're doing, and they voice that to you, and that kind of mentally gets in your head and screws with you. So, you know, and then like if you're doing any kind of occultism in the public eye, well, people throw curses for no reason. That's noise too. It doesn't really affect anything, but you know, it does actually. And that's kind of what I learned from the first work. You don't think it affects anything because it's not directly hitting. It's not, you know, boom. But you know what? It keeps you from the highest aspirational success you can get, because it's still draining some of your energy. So maybe you're not working at optimal all the time. And this is kind of like one of the problems I think that you have with humanity, and probably like the image or, you know, lifestyle magicians. They'll throw curses, but they're not effective. But realistically, it becomes noise, like 1,000 paper cuts. And after enough of that, you just kind of, you don't give up, obviously, but it takes its toll. That's what I learned on the Lucifer work while I was doing this for this other person. It takes its toll, and you have to become really good at ignoring the noise and trying to filter out the noise, or gathering the noise, actually. Like that was one of the suggestions. Gather all the energetic noise and condense it and then reclaim it into alchemize it or something like that. So that was the first work of the Lucifer work that I did. It was very interesting. Again, the metaphor that I kept seeing for the work, and I think this is true for myself too, that if I continue with the work after the 7 days that I think would be sufficient for the person, it's this idea of this golden thread of success, personal success and meaning outside of all the noise. And I always see Lucifer as a very light entity, very, very light, across a pitch black kind of background. So I see it kind of like as this light, and he encourages you to be a light, to really expand your light out into the world, which is often dark. That's not negative, it's just dark, and is that it doesn't, especially nowadays, kind of doesn't support spirit per se. Well, we can discuss that in various different forms, and I think what Lucifer does is kind of force you to see where the weak points are on the chains of the prison that holds you to the reality that you're in.